Hey, it's Dave Wyman from Wyman and Bob. It's time for Football 101. This is a painful one because the Seahawks, I thought, had their whole, other than the Tampa game, once they got past the New Orleans game, I thought they had fixed their run defense. But the Raiders ran all over them for 283 yards. Josh Jacobs had 229 yards. And then, just the final, straw on the camel's back was the overtime run for 86 yards. So let's take a look at that, because typically there's 2, 3, 4 things that go wrong, and that's kind of what we're going to see here. All right, first thing is, to me, I just think this is a run formation. You got a fullback in the backfield, you got a tight end. It's 12 personnel, which is 1 tight end and 2 running backs. And so your safety is really deep for that. He's about, 15 yards, a little bit close to that, deep. So, and then, Quandre Diggs is up pretty close where you can see him. But, as we'll do a box count just to see who has what gap. But, unless your safeties are filling really quickly, it's going to be a problem with this formation in the run game. And here you see that the running back from the side view, we're going to look at it from the end zone, but from the side view, he's already here, and the safety has not quite made up the ground. The other thing, so he's got a long ways to go. The other thing is I feel like maybe this safety, Quandre, should have taken this guy on. Just go hit him, get one side or the other, make that determination, but just attack the block. And then the next one, you see that Josh Jacobs has broken free here. So, and Quandre looks like he's in a good position, but he's kind of playing a little hand game with the receiver Hollins. And then, for whatever reason, Josh Jacobs realizes, you can see his hips here and how he's turned, that, I better get in chase position because he was so far back. And here he goes, he's off to the races here, and Quandre didn't really make any kind of a move there, and then you can see that Josh Jacobs is beaten. All right, let's take a look at it from the end zone. I think there's a player over here that fills in, but let's just do our gap count that we did last week. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then there's another guy I think that's folding in that will be part of it, but it looks like you should have it covered, but it depends on flow. And I think that with the Raiders, with their running game, they sort of were affecting the linebackers. I felt like Derek Carr was doing that with the way he was handing the ball off. This is what I'm talking about. So he did this a number of times. You can see that the play is going this way, and Derek Carr spins out this way, and then comes back and has the handoff right there. So that, I thought, maybe froze the linebackers a little bit. He did this a couple of times, and they obviously had a really good day, 283 yards rushing. So I thought that was a big part of it. They saw something in the Seahawks run defense and there a couple of times Carr would stick the ball way out here and then fold back. And then a lot of times they would start this way and you'd have the running back cut back. So the cutback lanes, I think, are something that really got them, and I think a lot of it had to do with Derek Carr, the way he was spinning out as far as his handoff goes. He's facing this way when the play is going that way. Here you go, and I think maybe that action of spinning out by Derek Carr might have influenced Cody to step up on this side. I think the other thing is maybe Jordan Brooks should have attacked this blocker who's the fullback. But, the other thing is you end up making it 8 gaps when you have a fullback. We said we had 7. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I know it's kind of a mess there. But now the fullback as a blocker, he creates an extra gap there. And so in order to combat that, you've got to get one of your safeties down in the box, and these guys are back too deep. All right, 2 things right here. First of all, you can't even see Cody because he's sort of buried himself in the line. He's the weak inside linebacker. And then, probably the one thing that's the most fundamental is the tackle right here. He gets turned sideways. And that's exactly what an offensive lineman wants to do. I always talk about the hallway of butts. Well, the hallway is going to be off of his butt, right there and off of the fullback's butt, and there's a clear lane right through there. So, but you can't have your defensive linemen turning their shoulders at the line of scrimmage. You want to stay square, not turned sideways. And here we go, and this is the perfect hallway as I talk about. I mean, I think maybe Jordan Brooks could have attacked this block and maybe taken him head on or something, or maybe he needs to adjust his gap because there's an extra blocker, so he goes over the top. But like I said, the other linebacker, Cody, is buried here. And then you've got Puna Ford right there just entirely sealed off. So there's your hallway right there. And then you get a block downfield by Hollins on Quandre that we talked about already. And this guy's sealed, and now Michael Jackson's in chase, and you're just not going to catch him. And this is actually a pretty easy run for Josh Jacobs the rest of the way. And there he is off to the races right there. So you got a block here. You put a move on this guy. You got the lineman turned, the linebacker blocked, and there they go. And I can't bear to watch him go the entire way, so I'm not going to do any screenshot for the touchdown. But Josh Jacobs, he had just an unbelievable day. The guy averaged 6.9 yards per carry. So there's just a lot of things in the run defense that they need to clean up. And, you know, teams around the league are going to see this. So not only do they need to get it fixed just for them, but for future opponents.